Alright folks, welcome to another raid video, and before we go ahead with today's video, we're going to have a quick look at this clan versus clan tournament that just finished. Now we were facing Chosen's clan, Chofly Elite. Now we beat them by like double the amount of points, so it was like 5 million to 2.5, and yet we only got these 3 accessories here and they got none. So I'm assuming that's a glitch because we should have had 4 surely. If it's like a tug of war situation, you would think that one gets 4, the other gets nothing, one gets 3, someone gets 1. Anyways, we were in tier 5, top 20 clan in tier 5, seems crazy. So we only got 5-star Savage gear. It wasn't that great, but a lot of people are complaining, but at the end of the day, it's like free stuff or stuff that you already do in the game. And again, a lot of people complained about this being pay to win, which it definitely is. There doesn't seem to be much skill elements to it, but I gained, well here we go, 256,000 points. Now that's nothing like some of the top guys, but I don't really feel that I did, so we were 10th in the world. I don't really feel that I did actually spend that much. I probably only spent maybe a couple of gem refills. I just did plenty tag team. I did use some rare books, but probably only about 20. So yeah, I think there's a fair bit to take away from that thing, and hopefully they come back next week and it's completely different, to be honest. I think there's a few things that needs changed. I would change, if possible, to make it some sort of skill base, so like the cumulative total of your clan boss damage rather than just clan boss chests and a few other bits and pieces. I do think eventually though, and I will give the benefit of the doubt to Plarium on this because I'm hoping that I'm right here, but I think they're thinking of some form of like PvP style clan wars at some point. So if that is the case, then I would actually be happy with this content staying as a sort of resource tournament, because at least with that, it's kind of like, even if you're not shooting for the top sort of gear, you're still getting stuff for free for doing the stuff that you would do in game anyway. So I'm not too fussed, but as long as they have some sort of skill-based PvP clan wars type thing alongside it, that'll be really, really good. So today's video is going to be all on this girl here, Thea the Tomb Angel. So Thea is one of these weird champions. When I saw her skills, when I saw her originally released for Doom Tower, I thought, you know what, she looks so much fun, she looks amazing. And then everybody used her and said she was absolutely terrible, absolutely awful. I mean, look at these reviews. It's got to be the worst reviews for a legendary in the game. There's not like a single one that's even like average. It's all red, all in the red. I don't think this is necessarily right, but yeah, I just decided eventually, I think I was a little bit behind on Doom Tower, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to bother using her. But because I'm a content creator, every so often I just go through my champions and I look and I think, who is really good that's not getting used much? And I want to do a champion guide on it and attempt to make them pretty decent. So Thea was next on my list, and me and probably a bunch of other people have all thought there's definitely a way to use Thea, we just haven't found it yet. And as you guys know, I try to run champions in Arena. I'm not really interested in other parts of the game. So this is where I'm going to go and try and make her shine in Arena, because I think it's probably the only place she'll shine, because after testing, she's terrible in PvE content. Her Hex Reaper, which is the damage dealer, just doesn't deal enough damage compared to like an enemy max HP or a poison blower up thing, so not much use for PvE at all. But for PvP, she could be useful. So let's just go through her skills quickly. She has got this A1 that attacks and 2 enemies at random, has a 75% chance of placing a Hex debuff for 5 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted. Each critical hit decreases the cooldown of Not of This World by 1 turn. So Not of This World is this bizarre ability here that places a Perfect Veil, on this champion, then grants an extra turn. Perfect Veil doesn't really work with this champion. The only thing that I found this really useful for is if she has debuffs on her, you can use this to get the debuffs off. So it's kind of like a pseudo cleanse. And also, because each critical hit decreases the cooldown of it, you can get some more extra turns and end up lowering the cooldown on Hex Reaper, which is actually a 5-turn cooldown. Now, she only takes 5 books here. Sorry, Hex Reaper is the actual main ability though. Hex Reaper does an AoE attack, but damage increases by 50% for each Hex debuff on the enemy team. Stacks up to 300%. And yeah, this ability here is how you get the hexes on, and they cannot be resisted. So on paper, sounds pretty cool. Seems like she should do probably the hardest hitting damage in the game, because she's got a good multiplier already on her AoE, and it can stack up to 300%, so that should be nuts. So Cruel Angel passive, this passive doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Because it says cannot be resisted, suddenly you don't want to build her with accuracy. But then this needs accuracy, but then it's only a 50% chance. So it's kind of random, this. I would probably have liked to have seen something a bit better for her kit. You know, something that works maybe with the perfect veil or something, just to make that a little bit more useful. But I would probably just get rid of the skill altogether, because it seems a little bit pointless. Because, I mean, it's a good skill if you can build her with accuracy, but then you're losing out on the fact that this cannot be resisted. So, seems crazy. So what I've done is I've chucked her in some Savage and Cruel gear just to get really good damage out of her. She's very low base speed at 90, which makes her very difficult again to get decent speed out of her. 1.54k attack. Yeah, she's okay stats. Not the best. The speed really does let her down. I've managed to get her... This isn't my best gear at all, but I just wanted to chuck her in some sort of gear to see what she could do. Because with those multipliers, this should do some crazy damage, even with just these stats. So quite low speed, decent amount of attack, quite low crit damage, but it's enough to deal decent damage. And she's got Savage, Cruel, and Helm Smasher on the masteries. Ruthless Ambush. The way I'm going to be using a Ruthless Ambush doesn't really work that well, actually. Opportunist should work fine. And Helm Smasher, obviously, something like Single Out. Not Single Out, sorry. Bring It Down, that's decent, gives you more damage. Shield Breaker as well, definitely need that for the build I'm using. You could go down defense, but what I wanted was Evil Eye, because I'm going to be lowering turn meter, hopefully, with the A1. So, like I say, this champion's been on my list to try for a while. So for Arena, I had kind of 3 options for her in my head. Now, what you want to do is you want to get this A1 to hit before you use the A2. And in Arena, you just don't get a chance to go and then go again. Because someone like Ethos, Trunda, Foley, Yannicka, there's loads of good nukers out there. Skullcrown's even good. That will just blast them out in one shot anyway, so what's the point? So what you need to do is on the first turn, you need to be using this Hex Reaper. Now the only way to do that is by using an ally attack champion. Now I had seen people do this before, but I hadn't seen them really go into depth on it and not really push the boat out in terms of gear and skills and everything and really test it out a lot. So I've always felt that this has maybe just been forgotten about. So there was 2 ways to do this. My first thought was actually just running 2 ally attack champions, and hopefully that would place all 4 hex debuffs on, if not 3. Then you're getting maximum amount of increased damage, and that should just blow them up, even without the shields. Because someone like Ethos, for me, I use his Extinguished Life all the time, and he just blows everything up. Now, he's in much better gear. He's at nearly 7k attack, 285 crit damage, doesn't need crit rate, which is pretty useful. Much faster as well, but he blows everything up regardless of whether it has defense down or not. Now, I don't think she will, but if she does have 4 hexes on, in theory she should be doing way more damage than him anyway, so we should be able to do that. So the second option, which is probably going to be the best option, is going to be running a ally attack as well. In Lanicus it's going to be just so I can get the extra 30% turn meter increase, just because her speed's so low. Then straight into Madame, into her. So they're going to be stripped of all buffs, shields and whatnot, and they're also going to be defense down. So that's probably going to be pretty useful. And then the third option is going to be using this man here. So I've just chucked him in some random gear because I don't really use him anymore. But he has this ability on his A2, sorry, his A3, that actually applies a debuff spread. So all I need to do with that is do the ally attack, place 1 hex, then I can spread the hex to every single other person on that team. So I've got all 4 hexes up, and we can see actually how much damage the hex debuffs will let her do. So we've got 3 options to try there, so let's just go ahead and try them out. Now, the biggest problem before I go in here, and I think this is one that most people have noticed, is because she has Force Affinity, it really makes her quite difficult to nuke, because most of the good defensive champions are actually spirit based in this game. So any team that you want to try and fight, you know, if you're facing another speed team, there's no point in using Thea, because you're better off just using a Trunda or a Foley. Definitely better using Foley actually. Ethos, someone that can deal damage really consistently and does well, and then someone like Foley will block revive. So the only reason you want to bring Thea in is because she can potentially, we don't know yet, deal some crazy amount of damage. So really what you're looking to do is trying to take on really tanky, heavy, high HP teams. So any of those sort of teams, I can guarantee you, will be running one of these, one of the Duchess. So Duchess is spirit based, but she has this ability that decreases the damage taken by allies from AoE attacks by 25%. So you're going to have to be facing this. Now, there are weak hits there. Also, Valkyrie. Valkyrie's very good defensive champion. Mortu Macabre, wherever he is, I've got him down in my vault somewhere. He's a very good defensive champion. There's loads of them. There's loads of decent spirit champions in that category. So that's probably where it's going to be really difficult, and it actually might just be something like an affinity that makes it difficult in this. Right, we're into Platinum just now. Let's have a wee look for a team now. First of all, now I guess one issue we're going to have is if we do run the double ally attack team, there's a good chance because our A1 hits so hard, our A1 hits very hard, that I might just kill people. But we'll go in against this team. Let's see if we can get them all in. So we'll go with Arbiter. We'll take in Lanicus. We're looking at Thea. And we'll go with Fakran. So that's double attack, counter attack. Sorry, double ally attack. And Thea. Hopefully they're not faster than me, because then this will be embarrassing. They're not. So let's boost. Now what's going to happen here is I've got a feeling. So we've got block debuffs here, which is an issue. She's an immunity. So straight away I'm not going to be able to get a hex on there. I think I'm just going to wind up killing them here. Yep, I thought that would happen. So we killed them, so that's where the strategy fails a little bit. So we got a hex up, but then we got a counter attack and got killed. So there's another problem with this. Because you're doing the ally attack, there's a very good chance you'll get a counter attack. So that's kind of screwed up this one here. Let's see if we can actually get around and do a turn. We got a hex up, we've got 2 hexes up, but we've now been killed. So yeah, this is a wipe. So round 1 it's not looking too good. But I think I chose the wrong team. So against a team like this, I just feel that she's pretty useless in that situation. I wonder if we just run her in a straight up... let's just do a straight up damage without trying to run any hexes and see how much damage she can do. So strip them all. Strip here. Boost back round. So I managed to get in before they attack me. There's absolutely no point in this ability, but I'm going to do it anyway. Now, they've all got defense down. Let's have it go into +1 and see how much damage she can do. So look at that. That's just off the bat, and that is not good damage at all. You know, she's got decent gear on. She's got very good gear. These are not tanky champions. Okay, we got weak hits here because she's spirit, but I should have been able to kill the Candraform with defense down. So right away, that's not very encouraging at all. That's not so good. We'll just kill this team off and we'll go and continue on to the next one. But yeah, not good damage off the bat. Right, let's go back. So we know she's just not a damage dealer without using the hexes. So the only way to get her to deal damage is with the hexes. Now, someone like this here, we don't have any spirit here. There should be a little bit more tanky with Siphi in there, maybe. Let's try the double ally attack. Well, let's try the single ally attack, actually. Let's do that version here. So that's going to be using Lanicus, Arbiter. I think this is probably going to be the best version of this team. So boost. Let's attack. You don't want them to die because you want the hex to stay on. So, see, there's the problem there. Because our A1 hits so hard, now you're at this awkward position where the only champion with a hex got killed. And she's too slow to come around and do anything. So yeah, this doesn't look like she is very good whatsoever, guys, I'm afraid. Well, let's keep trying. Let's try and find like a tanky team. Now here's another problem. This team looks like it would be pretty good to try it against, but we've got a Rotos, and because her AoE only hits once, that is not ideal either. But let's try it anyway, let's just see how much damage. Let's do the double ally attack to get around that, and we'll try and kill Rotos. Right, boost. Let's attack the... So we've got a Duchess in here too. Great, we got a Hex on, that's good. Both ally attacks are already down. So let's just see how much damage this does. This has got a 50% increase. Not very good, I'm afraid. Didn't even tickle Krisk there. So 50% is not enough. We need much more than one hex on. Let's see. Maybe I'm just fighting the wrong teams. Maybe it just needs to be really tanky sort of teams. What about this here? This looks a bit better. So let's go for the Lanicus and Madame route here. Hopefully we can get our 2 debuffs up. We've got a block debuffs here, so immunity. Let's attack. Don't attack Krisk, that was a bad idea actually. Because now she has decreased attack. I was able to get rid of one of them. So we've got 1 hex up. Let's see, they've got no shields on. Yeah, that was decreased attack that was on there. I'm going to do that again and not attack Krisk, because I want to actually see how much damage I can deal without attacking Krisk there. That was a bit of a stupid mistake. Right, same again. Let's attack Duchess. Oh hey, right, so we've got 1 hex up. We don't seem to be getting 2 hexes up ever, which is really frustrating. Must have been attacking the people with... or you can actually, because it's random, you can attack the same person. So there's yet another problem with this comp. So this should kill all these guys. It's pretty poor. It's pretty poor. I mean, it's not killing Krisk. It's not killing... Yep. This is pretty rubbish, guys. Right. Right, here we go. I was looking for a non-spirit team that looks pretty tanky. This looks like the perfect one. Because we've been losing so much, we're actually going back into Gold 4. So a team like this, we're going to use Vizier this time. We're actually going to try and get up all of the hexes and see how much damage we can do without actually having to take down defense or anything like that. So we've got 2 hexes up already. And let's debuff spread. Right. Perfect, guys. So we've got a hex on each one of these guys. So this is 200% damage on a really good multiplier AoE. There's no weak hits going to hit here. This should blow everything out the water, because she's also got the mastery as well that lets you deal extra damage to shielded champions. That was actually a pretty decent hit, to be honest. That was quite a decent hit. But it didn't kill them. Now, if I geared her a little bit better, maybe it would have killed them. Yes, maybe. But it didn't kill them. That is the problem. Yeah. I mean, it was... Yeah, let's try. That's maybe not the best example. Let's try a different team. The problem is, like a team... Let's maybe try this top one, because we've got a defensive champion in there that's Spirit. Now, you're not getting the damage mitigation from Duchess, so it's still going to be doable, because I think if Duchess is in there, I just can't kill anyone with this ability. Let's hit Arbiter, hopefully she doesn't die. Great, so that's perfect. We got a bunch of fears up too. Let's debuff spread that. Right, we've got 1 on everyone. So this should definitely kill everybody. 100%. It did kill all of them, but obviously Spirit again is the problem, and it didn't do anything to her. So I think that's going to be the big issue with this champion. It's just the fact that she's not going to be able to kill these Spirit champions. Because to me, the only reason you would use her is to kill tanky teams like that, and they're all going to be running Duchess. Here's another interesting one. Krisk, Rector Drath, Candraphon. Let's try this again. This team seems to be the most consistent way of doing it, because you want all those hexes on. So I think using Vizier is probably best for this composition. So there we go, there's that problem again, because we killed the only champion that had a hex on them. We'll spread the true fears. So this is just not gonna, it's not even gonna tickle them, I don't think. No, it doesn't deal enough damage. So let's leave that fight. So yeah, there's the problem. If I attack Krisk, I'd have attack down. I can't attack Candraphon because he's got... Yeah, there's definite issues with this composition, guys. I hope you guys are seeing this. I always have these ideas in my head, and I think I've got the way to do it, but obviously don't. Here we go. This is a low-level team. Even though it's got good champions, I should be able to blast this team in a winner. No spirit champions in here whatsoever. We'll attack Warlord. Hopefully he'll survive. Nope. Her A1 hits really hard, really hard. You almost don't want it to hit that hard though, because you know what's the point in it hitting so hard if she's going to kill the people? And again, why is the debuff up for 5 turns? Because if a debuff is on someone for 5 turns, surely that means it's there to do work. If it's going to be there that long, but if you're just going to remove it to deal damage, that does seem quite counterintuitive to me. I'm not entirely sure what they were thinking about doing that. Right, let's look for a really so as you can see, I'm actually struggling to find teams that I can just kill. Because there's so many variables. Spirit here. This team's... I've got an idea in my head of the team I want to find. Something like this. So that's a super tanky team. That's actually a good, solid team. This is the sort of team you would find on Defense and Platinum. So this is really what we want to be facing. Duchess is going to be in all these teams, so let's just do it. I feel this is the best iteration of the team, because we need those hexes up to deal the maximum damage. Let's attack Duchess. Okay, we got our hex, perfect. Spread it. We've got a spread on everyone, pretty cool. So she has got that decreased attack, but I can use that ability there, so that's actually really useful. And this is going to be the proper test, guys. This is against Duchess with the damage mitigation. This is going to be the be-all and end-all. If this works, oh hey, if it doesn't, let's just give up, because this team is shite. It's not great, is it? It's not great. You would be so much better just with a Madame and a Trunda, or a Madame and an Ethos. So much better. You know, it's just so much setup, and it doesn't work. And the setup's risky because you're hitting them, then you could trigger counter attacks. I feel they really need to work this champion over big time, because her kit doesn't make any sense. Her damage doesn't seem to do nearly as much as it could. I've taken her into PvE. I won't even bore you with the PvE content because it's terrible. She deals so little damage in PvE compared to like enemy max HP champions and stuff. It's not worth even showing you. And I've already gone in and like spread all the debuffs, all the hexes across like all the spiders and stuff just to see what would happen, and she's rubbish. So unfortunately that is that. Let's, just for interest's sake, we'll go out of that battle and we'll try it again, because I think that's the sort of good team to try it on, really. This is the sort of team you're looking to beat. And let's see what happens if we at least strip them and then try it and we get like 1 hex up. Attack Duchess again. Right, we got 1 hex up. Managed to get rid of that. Let's see, hopefully we can kill... I mean, this should kill everyone. See, it doesn't even quite kill the Krisk, which is really, really bad. It does kill the Kandrifon, doesn't deal any damage to Duchess. Obviously I'm hitting Swift Parry here, so he would be dying. But it's pretty poor, guys. I mean, decreased defense, that should just be blowing them out of the water. Let's go into the same fight with... Take out, or put in Ethos. And let's just take out Lanicus altogether, because I don't need Lanicus. Is my Ethos fast enough for this? I'll put in him just to make sure he's fast enough. Right, I'll boost round. And this is what should happen. Blow them all up. So I got 2 Swift Parry procs there. But yeah, that is what should happen. That is the difference between a top tier nuker and a bad nuker like that. Granted, I'm actually probably going to die now because of those 2 Swift Parries, but... So that is Thea, the Tomb Angel. Is she as bad as people say she is? Yes, she's pretty bad. I'm not going to lie, she's pretty awful. I would not build her up. I kind of wish I didn't blast so many resources into her, but hey, I'm a content creator, so I've got to do these things. I would not waste your time, guys. Until she gets a rework, just leave her in the vault. She's absolutely hopeless. Too situational. I mean, if you look at the reviews, I don't think she's as bad as that, especially in the arena, because if you have like no one else that can deal damage, she can do some work, but It relies on you having some ally attack champions and stuff up, or a very weird defensive team that can keep her alive and not get hit with like perfect veils. So you could put the A1s on yourself, but that's only going to work in like, you know, lower sort of silver, lower gold sort of things. It's not going to work at high gold 4 platinum, which is where you want to use these champions. So that's just, it's not going to work. She doesn't deal nearly enough damage for this thing, as much as it should anyway. I think there must be something broken, because at 200%, that should be just blowing everything up. It should just be a guaranteed, because the amount of setup it takes to get the Hex on every single champion for the first turn and blow them up with Hex Reaper, it should be an automatic, you know, win. So yeah, it's disappointing. Disappointing, because she's a very cool looking champion. Really cool aesthetics. Yeah, Raid always do that part well. And they have actually been better recently. Some of the champions they've designed have been really cool, and they actually work really well. Her kit doesn't make any sense. That's the other problem. It doesn't synergize well. You know, this doesn't make any sense why it's in there with the resist thing. This is just bizarre. I don't even know why it's in there. Yes, I could build her with slightly better stats. I could probably get her to like, you know, 6.5k attack, roughly about 260 crit damage, but I honestly don't think it would make much of a difference. I just think she's pretty bad, and she's got to fill a niche, and there's no point in running her in a team where she just replaces your nuker, because if she's not, you know, if she's just going in the typical nuke strategy where you boost, strip, and then nuke, you're not getting to use her A1, so she's just a worse version of Trunda, of Foley, of Ethos, so there's no point using her there. There's no point using her against these resistance teams, because the only way to do it is by using ally attack champions to use the A1 and then nuke, but then she's not getting defense down, so she's not able to really kill them. So she doesn't work there as such, and also it's really risky because you can trigger counter attacks. You can also kill the person you're attacking because her A1 hits so hard. She doesn't work, Plarium. She needs a rework. Let me know what you think, guys. Please leave in the comments below if you have managed to get her to work in Arena at all. I haven't seen anybody so far, and unfortunately, I thought I was going to be the person to do it, but I'm not. She's just shit. So that's the video, guys. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell button for notifications, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Peace.